Hey everyone, welcome to Crossway Kids Online. It's great to see you. Now I was thinking about who I would love to be. If I could be anyone, I'd love to be famous. I'd love to have really cool hair. Maybe some great singing ability. Who would you want to be if you could be anyone? And is that who God wants you to be? You know, we're going to talk about that today as we continue to explore individuality. But before we get into it too much, why don't you hop up on your feet and let's worship God together.
When life's not everything I had planned, when battles make it harder to stand, you call me into beauty restored. I'm praying for more, I'm praying for more. You show me your heart, you set me apart. You show me your heart, yeah, it's more than I thought. You show me your heart, you set me apart. You show me your heart, yeah, it's more. To Him who can do more than I imagine. Oh, He can do anything. He can do more than I imagine. Glory be to the God of more. Extravagant dimensions of love, I captured in a gift from above. Now I can see this freedom you bought. It's more than I thought, it's more than I thought. You show me your heart, you set me apart. You show me your heart, yeah, it's more than I thought. You show me your heart, you set me apart. You show me your heart, yeah, it's more. To Him who can do more than I imagine. Oh, He can do anything. He can do more than I imagine. Glory be to the God of more. Who can do more than I imagine. Oh, He can do anything. He can do more than I imagine. Glory be to the God of more. I'm going through the open door, 'cause I know that with my God there's more. I'm going through the open door, 'cause I know that with my God there's more. I'm going through the open door, 'cause I know that with my God there's more. We go on through to what's in store, 'cause our God has more, yeah, our God has more. Show me your heart, you set me apart. You show me your heart, yeah, it's more than I thought. Show me your heart, you set me apart. You show me your heart, yeah, it's more. To Him who can do more than I imagine. Oh, He can do anything. He can do more than I imagine. Glory be to the God of more. Who can do more than I imagine. Oh, He can do anything. He can do more than I imagine. Glory be to the God of more. Glory be to the God of more. Glory be to the God of more.
Hey everyone, welcome to Game Time. I'm Andrew, and today I have with me Cooper and Tyson, the brothers. So this is like family wall today. We're going to play cup pong. Super simple. Ping pong balls. You got to get it in your cup. Has to bounce on your side of the table. First person to fill their cups wins. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to go? Put the ball in. Yep. If you run out of balls, by the way, guys, you're going to have to go get them yourself. Fill your bucket. Okay. All right. Here we go. Ready, set, go. All right. So far, that's a pretty bad start. Oh, Tyson's going to lose him. Oh, Tyson's actually winning. Oh, no, it's 2-2 now. Lovely. I'm just collecting. Cooper's in the lead. Tyson, how does that make you feel? Oh, Cooper's got one left. One left for Cooper. Oh, no, it came out. It's got to stay in. Oh, that's okay. We'll yeah. I'm going to allow it because that fell off. He had it in there. Cooper wins round 1. Well done. However, that was way too easy. So put your ping pong balls back in. Cooper's actually left. I think he's sort of going 0-1, and I'm just going to leave. Hard to play without you guys. Oh, thanks for joining me again. All right, this time, because that was just a warm-up, this is the real game. Bounce the ping pong on your side of the table, and you've got to get it in the cup on the other side of the line. Okay? Super easy? Nice. All right. By the way, the person who wins gets to take home all the cups. Oh, I saw it. Great prize today. Ready, set, go. All right. Oh, wow. That was really good. Well, this actually could take a while. If you get it in the other person's cup, well, you know, you help them out, I suppose. Great. We are actually 1-1 at the moment. That's all. All these balls, 1-1. Well, Cooper's now hit the lead at 2-1. Oh, 3-1. Oh, that's unlucky, Coops. That bounced out. Wow. I'm going to help you with ball collection. Some bonuses here. Oh, Tyson's coming back. There are balls falling everywhere. I don't even know where to look. The current score is 3-3. Tyson on the way back. 4-3. Tyson's in the lead. Will he get it? No, he doesn't. He bounced out. Oh, no. No. The pressure is... Yeah! Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. All right, well, Tyson, you're the winner. You get to take home the cups and also clean up all the ping pong balls all over the room. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time on Game Time.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 12.
Timothy of Lystra must have felt like he lived in two worlds. His mother, Eunice, and his grandmother, Lois, both were Jewish and believed in the one true God.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
But Timothy's father was Greek and likely not a believer.
Just work hard and be a good man, son. That's what really matters.
Okay, Dad.
One day, two men arrived in Lystra. Timothy may have heard them speaking in the center of town.
Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. You can turn to Him now.
One of the two men even healed a man who had never been able to walk. The crowd was amazed.
The gods have come down to us in human form.
Uproar engulfed the city. People even tried to offer sacrifices to the two men, Paul and Barnabas, as if they were gods. But in the middle of the chaos, a group of Jews from nearby towns where Paul and Barnabas had preached showed up and convinced everyone to attack the man with stone instead. Though the Jews dragged Paul outside the city and left him for dead, Paul got right back up. Timothy really surely heard about it.
The power of this Jesus is real.
Paul left for Derbe the next day and returned again to Lystra. Timothy, his mother, and grandmother all listened to Paul's teaching, and all three became believers in Jesus. Paul continued on his journey, but left behind a small, thriving new church.
We must pray each day.
And teach each other.
Timothy, in the meeting tomorrow, you should tell the story Paul shared. The one about how Jesus raised a dead man.
Oh, but I don't really like to talk in front of people.
I think you shall do very well.
By the time Paul had returned several years later, Timothy had become a faithful disciple of Jesus. Everyone at the church spoke well of him.
Timothy knows all the Hebrew scriptures.
He is kind to everyone, not just those who are Jewish.
And his father is a Greek man?
Oh, yes.
Paul was looking for someone to help encourage new churches, someone who knew God's words, someone who could speak to people from all different backgrounds.
Timothy, I'd like you to travel with me and Silas and Luke.
Me?
Of course you.
Oh, but there are others older than me with more experience. They're bold. They're better at speaking.
You're the one God has chosen for this job.
Wow. Well, okay.
The elders of the church laid their hands on Timothy and prayed for him. God's Spirit provided Timothy with everything he would need for the work ahead.
Amen.
We leave tomorrow.
Over the next years, Timothy traveled with Paul all around the land to help encourage believers and start new churches. While they spent time in Ephesus, Paul gave Timothy a special mission.
I want you to go to the church in Corinth.
On my own?
You're like a son to me. I trust you completely. The church there needs to see an example of what it means to follow Christ. And, well, you're it.
Timothy went to Corinth. Over the years, Timothy became Paul's right-hand man. Paul even put him in charge of the church in Ephesus.
The leaders in Ephesus are so much older than I am. Will they even listen to me?
Your age doesn't matter.
As Timothy settled in Ephesus, Paul wrote him letters to encourage him.
Don't let anyone look down on you because you're young. Set an example for the believers in what you say and how you live. Also, set an example in how you love and in what you believe. Show the believers how to be pure.
Though Timothy met Paul when he was a very young man, he was able to play an important part in helping Paul build up the early church and sharing their incredible news of Jesus.
I wonder if you've ever heard the phrase, "you're too young." I know I have so many times when I was a kid. Maybe you're in the line at a theme park, waiting to go on this awesome roller coaster. You've been waiting for ages, you get to the front, and the staff member says, "You're too young. You need to be bigger." That can be super frustrating. I don't know, another example. Maybe your family's going on a road trip, and you want to sit in the front seat because that's obviously the best seat in the car. And you ask your parents and they say, "No, you're too young. You have to wait till you're bigger, wait till you're older." And that's super, super annoying. There are so many times, when we're young that we get told, "You're too young. You have to wait till you're older. Maybe another time, maybe later, just wait." There are so many different things we hear. And most of the time, even though it's frustrating, they are actually there to protect us. They're there for a good reason. But one thing that we can be really, really encouraged by and excited by is that we are never ever too young to be used by God. And that's so exciting. In fact, in the Bible, we read of so many different times where God used really, really young people, probably similar age to you guys as well, some of you guys. He used those really young people to do some incredible, some extraordinary things. And today, in our story, you might have remembered the story of Timothy. We actually hear about Timothy, who was very, very young at the time. And now, God had set a really big challenge for Timothy in the story we heard, right? Timothy was asked by Paul to help him travel all around and start a bunch of different churches. Now, Timothy, when he heard that request from God, he was pretty intimidated. He was pretty scared because it seemed like it was a massive task, because it was a huge task to travel all around. But the amazing thing was, Paul encouraged Timothy, he built his confidence up and reminded Timothy that nobody is ever too young to be used by God, and that Timothy didn't have to worry about being too young because God was with him. In one of Paul's letters to Timothy, Paul writes this: "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. Set an example for the believers in what you say and in how you live. Also, set an example in how you love and in what you believe. Show the believers how to be pure." Now, this verse essentially tells us that nobody is excluded from God's plan, right? No matter how young you are, no matter anything else, but particularly no matter how young you are, there is a plan for you from God, and it is an amazing plan. It's not as if, we have to wait till we're a certain age. God is always, always, always ready to use you for his plan and for his will, which is super exciting. And there's a few specific points that we can take out from Paul's instructions or encouragements to Timothy. You see, Paul encouraged Timothy to do 5 things in particular, and they are the following. So Paul encouraged Timothy to set an example through what he said, through what he did, through how he loved others, through how he loved God, and through making wise choices. Now, I think it is a great time for us to see how this applies to us. So in a moment, I'm going to have some different scenarios come up on screen, and you're going to have to decide in your family or in your group how the best way to respond is according to what Paul just told us in those verses. So you'll have a few options to choose, and you got to pick the best one. Let's give it a shot. All right, great stuff, guys. I'm sure you guys smashed that out. And just thinking about it, it seems like a really simple thing. Just do the right thing to show kindness. But when we do that, when we make those good choices, like Paul instructs us to, it can actually have a big impact because we can set an example for those around us and show them that God can use anyone and everyone for His plan. And now, as a family, I want you guys just to chat about how you can set an example to the people around you this week. All right, great work, guys. Let's finish up our time together with some prayer. We're going to do some prayer sentences. So in a moment, some prayer prompts are going to come up on the screen, and you guys just need to finish each prompt with a prayer. Let's do that now.
Well, isn't it great that God has made each one of us the way we are for a purpose, and that we can make a difference right now? We don't have to wait till we're older. We can do it now. What a challenge for us all. That's the end of individuality, and I can't wait to see what we're going to learn about next week. So why don't you join us on Crossway Kids Online? We'll see you then.